Greetings, Knights. Mr. Summers here. We're going to go over our pride values. For some of you, it'll be a refresher. For some of you that are new, it might be the first time you're hearing this. Maybe you've seen some pride posters around the school and you're like, what does all that mean? And I know at this point you're probably getting bored of seeing my face and hearing my voice. So I interviewed the one and only Mr. Banham, one of our great assistant principals here, to get his thoughts. So sit back, relax, and enjoy 5 minutes with Mr. Banham. Oh, wait, hold on. What? Hi, everyone. We have Mr. Banham here, one of our fine assistant principals, and he's going to go over the Pride Matrix.
Hey, everyone. Our Pride Matrix is a set of values that really guides our community and roots us in what we believe in, makes a citizen at our school. What our goal is as far as coming together and how we want to conduct ourselves and create an environment which everyone feels welcome, safe, and a part of. So the matrix is broken down with a set of values, and we created the acronym PRIDE to help make this clear. But each one of those values guides our conduct and the way we interact with each other and every aspect of our environment. And that's why you see these posters up everywhere, because these values are they're able to be applied whether you're in a classroom, a hallway, the cafeteria. They exist throughout our community because they're at the foundation of what it means to be a North Urbana Knight.
That's great, Mr. Banham. Well, why don't we start off with P for personal responsibility and talk about what it means at our school and how we can apply it to our current pandemic situation.
It's hard to explain this one without referencing the words personal and responsibility, because it's about you, right? Personal responsibility is about taking charge of who you are and what's going to be good for you as a citizen here in our community. It's not trying to leave others in charge of your well-being or your success, but taking hold of the reins and driving your own health, wellness, and drive towards your own future. You know, I try to think about like, what does personal responsibility mean in times of COVID? It's thinking about things like it's my responsibility to make sure I got a clean face mask for the day, that I'm keeping on top of washing my hands, that I'm being aware of what I need to do to keep myself safe and who I am, and taking charge of that, not relying on other people to hold me accountable to those standards, but to hold myself accountable to making sure of
that. Thank you so much, Mr. Banham, for that great explanation. The next letter is R, which stands for respect. And I think it'd be really good to kind of go over that again as far as a little summary of what it means and how it applies to the current pandemic situation we're in here at school.
Respect is really about how we demonstrate that we value another human being. That's in our behavior and showing through things that we say and do and how we react to another person, that we value them as a human being that has a shared life experience with us and that we care about those around us. I really think respect is rooted in compassion. When we are compassionate towards somebody else, we are going to automatically show respect in our behavior and the way we speak to each other. So respect is, in this environment too, recognizing that everybody has a different reaction and a different feeling towards life in a pandemic. Some people have a much different response that could create a great deal of anxiety for them. Some people are far more comfortable, but being really self-aware of like, okay, I'm going to moderate my behavior, keep that 6 feet social distancing, recognize that the things I do could really be triggering somebody else's anxiety in an environment that's kind of higher tension than normal. So I'm going to moderate what I do to be respectful of those folks and create safety and comfort for everyone around us. And that could be following those guidelines, of staying 6 feet apart and keeping my mask on as much as possible. And also just understanding that people that we're close to might be behaving a little bit differently and wanting to give them the grace and the space to be as comfortable as possible.
I think that's really great. And I think part of what I'm hearing that you touched upon was that maybe I'm comfortable and I'm not too stressed out about everything that's going on. which may lead me to kind of goof around or not take things as seriously. But maybe the person, it could be their student or even a staff member, is really uneasy with things. So respect can come into play, even if you're okay and you're comfortable with things how they are, is acknowledging that maybe not everybody is around you, because it's not like people are going to speak up sometimes, especially if they're not comfortable doing that. So it is something to keep in mind when we're walking through the hallways and we're interacting with people, is just because you might be more comfortable with things doesn't mean the other person is. And we want to make sure we're being respectful of everyone around us.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, that leads us to the next letter, which is I, which stands for integrity. What are your thoughts on integrity, Mr. Banham?
I think integrity is one of those values that is one of the loftiest and like one of the most prized values that we have, and also one of the hardest ones to uphold, because I really feel like a big characteristic or an important part of integrity is that it only really truly exists when nobody's looking. Like, that's an aspect of integrity. That means doing the right thing when there's no one around or no reason to hold you accountable to doing the right thing other than it's the right thing to do. That's what it means to have integrity, is you're doing something right for the sake of doing something right, not because you'll get praised or because you'll get punished if you don't, but because it's simply what you believe is the correct thing to do. And that's integrity. It's following your moral compass. So really, integrity in these times is applying that to the world around us, of knowing like, man, let's take the screening station, for example. If you were to wake up in the morning and not feel well, and you go up to that screening station, somebody says that you got a cough, sore throat, a runny nose, we're not in your body, we don't know. You could say no, but that would be not the right thing to do. So integrity would be saying, oh yeah, I don't feel well today. That's an example of it. Like, you're the only one inside of you and in your head, and you're the only one who can advocate for those things. So you're the one who has to be the one that steps up and does the right thing in those situations and help keep everyone safe. So integrity it's about doing the right thing when no one's around but you and your conscience.
It's a great way of looking at it. To add on to what you're saying, is sometimes integrity by doing the right thing when no one's looking. And the example you gave is doing the right thing for the community and looking at the bigger picture, and doing the right thing for yourself if you need that time and you're concerned that maybe you have some symptoms or you're just feeling down. It's great. The next letter is D, which stands for determination. What are your thoughts on determination, Mr. Banham?
Determination, I like comparing it to similar values, because I think it helps make things a little bit clearer. So the word that I always associate with determination is grit. It's the willingness to keep on going even when things are tough. Again, kind of touching back on integrity, it's the willingness to keep on going when things are tough, particularly if it's the right thing to do. And there's a lot that's tough right now for people. This is different. There's a lot of adjustments that we're making. School's not normal. Home life isn't normal. I mean, everything's different and new. That can get exhausting. And so determination is about being able to stay the course and keep on trying and keep moving forward, even when it becomes challenging or when it would be easy to give up. I want to be a little careful with this and saying, like, we don't push ourselves till we're sick. We pay attention to our minds and our bodies, and we know when we need to ask for help and take breaks. It's not powering through no matter what, but it's also not giving up just because that would be the easy thing to do. Determination is to keep going when the going gets tough, and it's also about knowing what you can and can't shoulder and what you're able to achieve, and achieving to the best of your ability, to the best of your means, and knowing that you've given it your all every single day.
I like that. So I hear two things you're saying. Determination is, especially in this situation we have right now with the pandemic, is just being determined to make it through it. But also, on the other hand, making sure you're giving yourself grace and ease. You're reaching out if you need some support. You're in touch with yourself and how you're feeling and your thoughts and your stresses and anxieties and everything that comes along with it. Knowing that you're going to get through it, but also knowing that sometimes we all need some support, and make sure you're reaching out if you need anything. And more importantly, you're just taking it easy on yourself as well. So finding that sort of middle ground and gray area there. I like that. And finally, we come to the last letter of our pride values here as North Nevada Knights. And it's one of my favorites to practice. It's not always the easiest, and it definitely is something we can all do, but it definitely does take practice. And what we're talking about is the E, which stands for empathy. What are your thoughts on empathy, Mr. Banham, how it relates to the school and what we're going through right now?
I think empathy is one of our driving values, and that everything that I've talked about so far touches in some way on empathy. And it comes down to recognizing that we're all human beings and we all matter and we all have value. And that no two people's experiences are alike. And in a weird way, because no one's two experiences are alike, that's the one thing we all have in common. And that we share that we're always trying to understand where each other are coming from, and that we have different challenges and life experiences, and that we need each other and to support each other getting through them. Empathy is about compassion and seeing the humanity in every single person around you, and recognizing that everyone has their own unique struggle, and because we all have our own unique struggle, that we can either support each other through that, no matter what that looks like.
I want to thank you for your time, because I know how busy you are down there at the office. And to everybody else watching this, I hope that you got some good information from it. Feel free to reach out to any of us if you have any other questions. And as always, much love and respect, Knights, and we'll talk to you soon. All right, everybody, we're here with Mr. Banham, our assistant principal, who's going to go over the Pride Matrix, what each letter stands for, and hold on, what each letter?
I really think respect is rooted a little bit again.
We'll cut that part out. I really think respect is rooted. There you go. You can start there. I really like that definition. Well, that was kind of corny. And finally, we come to the last letter of the pride value. Well, that was nicely stated, Mr. Banham. I just want to say I greatly appreciate your time. I know that you are super busy. I'm sure all the Knights here appreciate your time as well. And yeah. See, it's so funny. Hold on a second, let me see. I want to thank you for your time. I really do appreciate, I really want to thank you for your time. I know how busy you guys are. I can't talk. I need some more.